you tell I'm in denial?
You can't stay at the top forever.
I was also very surprised when I looked at my phone and saw Joe Girardi dismissed.
Well, I think mine were with common sense.
I think now belongs in the all-time greats top 10.
Boston, I really think only got to this point because of a guy named Chris Middleton being out for the Bucks.
That power play just was unbearable. It was humming.
Man, am I happy. I knew that this was going to happen. I knew he was going to come back.
When I think of New York Yankees now is Judge, probably people in the past when Jeter was coming up.
I would be shocked. A little bit hurt.
Hey, this is Greg Tepper of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, TexasFootball.com, and Valley Sports Southwest. You are listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our MLB Opinions of the Week. We've talked about the Orioles before and just like how bad of a start it was, and now it's still not great, and they've decided to fire their manager who won Manager of the Year 2 seasons ago, Austin.
Yeah, and I think today was a new low for them, Kevin. I don't know if you saw the game today. They were up 2-1 in the fifth inning when they took out their starter today. They lost 19-5. They gave up 13 runs in the eighth inning, the bottom of the eighth. They gave up 13 runs. Going into the eighth even, it was 6-3, and then it became 19-3 and then 19-5. It's been horrible, and they did fire Brandon Hyde, and I don't think really that's the root of the issues. I think it's the owner not paying for or not keeping tabs on what the team really needs and improving when he needs to, or bringing guys back when he needs starting pitching like Corbin Burns and other guys. But this doesn't fall on a manager or one single player. This is a leadership issue.
Yeah, and leadership, I believe it's new ownership, but also GM as well. You have to be, because we've seen teams be successful without paying guys to an extent. Look at the Rays, and then sometimes the players don't pan out. But with the Orioles, it really is. I would say the issue is their starting pitching, but you mentioned the game today as we are recording. That's their bullpen, which could just be overused because their starters are not good. I also know they DFA'd Kyle Gibson, who was a signing for them. So it's really, I think they had some good starting pitching, but they just weren't able to. I would blame it more on the GM. If you fire the GM and the manager, then it makes sense. But manager is really what else can he do with a roster that just does not have the same pieces it did a few years ago.
Yeah, that's a fair way to put it. And I think it's not just not paying, it's who you're paying and just the extent of just neglect that was put into this team during the offseason. They just think that they're going to be able to put a team together that can win a lot of games, and then they don't have to add to it, and the team just is going to be good. No, that's not necessarily how that works. And I think a big disappointment for me is the fact that they know how important starting pitching is. This isn't a new conversation, right? Starting pitching has been something that's been important for a while. And it's just, that's not something that is important to obviously the front office or at least the owners, because they're not investing in starting pitching at all. And I've been very disappointed with how the team's been managed, because it just has not turned out in any form or fashion the way that they would have hoped.
Yeah, and kind of looking at that as well, starting pitching has been an issue for them the past 2 years while they've been good. So that success masked their flaws. So to me, it doesn't look like they were pursuing greatness. It was like, oh, we're good, let's just ride this out. They did trade for Corbin Burns, but why not? If you are going to let Corbin Burns go and not try to re-sign him, why not trade for someone with more time and already on a contract? Because they have the young pieces to go make trades. I think that's what we've seen with teams. The Padres are an interesting case because they do pay guys, but They traded Juan Soto because they didn't know if they could pay him. And then they went out and trade for Dylan Cease. They trade a lot of their young guys to go get current guys to help their team now.
Well, sure, but they have some guys that you consider veterans. The problem is that they are cheaping out on the guys that they're picking up. You need to have an ace in your rotation, and they just do not have that at the moment. Their best starter is Sugano, and he's good, but he's old. He's 35. He is a rookie this season, but that's because he's been playing in Japan. And he's been good this year, and I think that was a good addition. But that is the only starter, Kevin, above 0.1 WAR. Above 0.1. And not to mention that he's also the WAR leader. He's more WAR than Gunnar Henderson. So this is not just a pitching issue. Ali Rutschman has been bad. Ryan Mountcastle has been terrible. They have a lot of their guys that are just not playing up to par. Tyler O'Neill was amazing last year with the Red Sox. He hit 31 home runs, had a 133 OPS plus, and looked really, really good. Right now with the Orioles, he's not been good. He's been bad. And whether it's a team issue or if it's just how the managers are managing it, I don't know. But there's some clear problems that need to be addressed before a lot of these contracts start to get going for their young guys.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And now, kind of looking, do you just chalk the season up as a loss, or do you try to make trades to fix this team?
That's a hard question. I don't know if you can save it with trades right now because of the way that it's been going, but I think you could. It's going to take a lot, though, either way. This is just not a point you want to get to, right? You don't want to have to get to the point where you're going to have to make these very tough decisions. And I think because of the situation they put themselves in, I mean, if you fire the GM and I was hired, I mean, it's just picking up the scraps at this point. It's not an easy job. There is no cut and dry answer because you kind of made it to where any decision's a bad one.
Yeah, and personally, because they were viewed as, I wouldn't say championship or bust, but they were a contending team. So it is tough. I might try to make trades and be aggressive. However, I don't see them doing that approach. I just see them going, I just see them writing it out and just seeing what happens.
Yeah, I don't know. At this point, it is extremely... It's picking up the pieces. Honestly, that's the way I see it. It's, again, if I was hired right now, I don't know where I would start. That's how many problems that they have. I mean, they're the second worst team in the MLB, in my opinion, because the White Sox have direction. Enough direction to where I would rather be a White Sox, not fan, but I would rather be in the White Sox position because I know what's going to happen in the next couple of years, and they only have one less win than the Orioles right now. One. They're very comparable teams at the moment. But the White Sox have some guys that are doing some really, really good things. And while maybe they don't have the best hitters and position players, their starting pitching's amazing. I mean, they have 4 starters right now, including Martin Perez, who's injured right now, with an ERA below 4. 4 of them. Shane Smith has been a star to start the year. 2.36. He's a 2.36 ERA, Kevin, with a 1-3 record. He's 1-3 and has a 2.36 ERA in 10 starts. That's despicable. But Mike Vassell has been very good out of the bullpen. They have some really good pitching guys. Steven Wilson's been very good out of the pen. They have some good pitching. Now their hitting is And we'll see about that moving forward. But I would rather have, if I'm a team, I'd rather have young pitching coming up and know that my pitching's there, because you can build around pitching. In my opinion, it's harder to build around position players, because if you don't have pitching, it doesn't matter, because again, they gave up 19 runs today. You cannot score enough in those games to win them, right? You just cannot put enough runs on the board to win games. And I'd rather have the problem not being able to score, like a Rangers problem right now, because the Rangers, you're having amazing starting pitching, and that you see the light when you have amazing starting pitching. Like, you see how you can win a game, even with not great players, even with not great position players. You can see how to win a game. When you are giving up 19 runs in a game, you're in a black hole. There is no light. It is just, how are we going to win a game when we give up 19 runs? I have no idea. There's no scheme book to win games when you allow 10 plus runs. It happens. You can win a game 12-11, but it's not common and it's not sustainable. And that's a problem that the Orioles are going to have to fix, or this core that looked so promising for the past couple of years is going to be tarnished.
Yeah, I wouldn't go to the extent of where I understand your point of rather have young starting pitching. I think it would, for the Orioles, the tough part is building that type of roster and putting it into already a good team, where I think you mentioned Adley Rutschman, Gunnar Henderson struggling. I think they will bounce back. It's just, you need to go get an influx of starting pitching, and the way to do that would be to spend money. However, you don't really have that option. So developing would take more time. So I think it is a very disappointing season right now, and it's going to be, because I don't see them making moves to make it work for this season. But I do think they can get back to the top next year, but it will take some tricky moves. Versus the White Sox, it's just, we just need better players, position players. You can get that through trades or just signing guys, even on 1-year contracts where it works out. Sometimes it doesn't work out, but so yeah, I think I thought they would rebound from their poor start, but it looks to just be a overall disappointing season for the Orioles. I'll let you close this one out.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening. Please let us know what you guys would do to fix the Orioles, because they desperately need it. Thank you again.